Now that I've turned half of my viewers away by telling the truth about the physics behind free energy, I am going to attempt to redeem myself and re-grab those viewers' attention with a remarkable concept for producing a constant voltage without violating the second law of thermodynamics, a so-called infinite battery. Basically, there are trillions of electromagnetic waves traveling around and through us at any given time, all different frequencies, all different amplitudes. Take a radio, for example. The electrons inside of the metal of a radio antenna are constantly bombarded with all these different frequencies of electromagnetic waves. These cause the electrons inside the antenna to oscillate up and down at the frequency of the waves hitting it. A radio's tuning device is simply a capacitor which varies its capacitance frequency when you turn the tuning knob, allowing only specific frequencies to be fed through. But basically, you can move your head out the way and put a radio where your head used to be, so therefore that's proof that these waves are going through our bodies right now. They're going everywhere. They're all over. We can't see them because they're different frequency than our eyes can see, but we're constantly being bombarded with all these different frequency electromagnetic waves at all the time. Now the trick is to turn all these into a coherent stream and to get energy from them somehow. So in electronics there is what is called a diode, which is made of positively and negative doped silicon plates which touch each other. The electric current traveling across a diode can only flow from positive to negative. If you run the current the opposite way, negative to positive, the diode separates from the electron interactions on the materials inside and it flips the switch to off, basically. This is different than a light emitting diode. A light emitting diode will emit light across if you hook it up the right way, but if you reverse polarize a light emitting diode, it becomes a light detector. Kind of interesting. So basically, current can only travel across a diode in one way, and this is the same circuit that they have inside those shake-up flashlights that have no batteries. They just have a magnet inside, and you shake them up. Those things run forever. So here's the deal. There's a special type of quasi-crystal where the unit cell is like a tiny nanocircuit of nanodiodes which only allow electrons to flow in one direction through the crystal. Random electromagnetic waves entering the crystal will cause the electrons in the crystal to oscillate at whatever frequency they're hit with, same as the electrons inside the radio antenna, and as long as they're free electrons. But when they do, they find that their direction is blocked one way because of the semiconductors. The whole crystal is made out of semiconductors which only allow electricity to flow across this thing in one way, the entire circuit, the entire crystal. So when these waves come in, they take this free electron, it rides one half of the wave, and then when the other half of the wave tries to dip it back down again, it gets blocked by the diodes inside the crystal structure and can't go back down, so it only absorbs one half of the wavelength, which basically propagates all these little atoms across the crystal in a coherent stream. And it basically just takes the energy right out of the electromagnetic radiation which permeates through all space and time, more strongly so in direct sunlight, of course, because we're getting more direct energy from the sun. Produce much more higher voltage in direct sunlight. It's kind of like a photovoltaic cell, only just the most advanced photovoltaic cell you could possibly imagine. Photovoltaic cells are typically 20% efficient at best. This would be almost 90% efficient. I don't know the exact number, but this allows the crystal basically to produce a constant voltage, seemingly from nothing. But I've proven that the energy doesn't come from nothing. It can't come from nothing. That would violate physical laws that we just went over in the last video. But this energy comes from electromagnetic energy that's already there. It's all around us. It just provides us a way to harness this random energy and convert it into a form that's more usable to us. In this case, electrical voltage. Since we are only absorbing one half of the wavelength, and since not all waves are polarized in the proper direction, less than a third, maybe less than a fourth of the total ambient electromagnetic energy gets converted into electrical voltage. So the amperage is small, but it's comparable to an alkaline electrochemical battery of the same size. The great part is you never have to replace it, and it will work better than a conventional battery in direct sunlight, and it's just in the dark, where it's just running off of radio waves and microwaves and infrared waves and all these other types of waves that are traveling through space and time. It doesn't work quite as well as it would work in direct sunlight. So there you have it. There's a scientific proof of concept, and if you have a refutation of it, I'd like to hear it. and I'll be waiting to hear some offers from people who want the formula for manufacturing these quasi-crystal nanodiode batteries, or would like to discuss the possibility of funding a startup company to begin building a silicon refinery able to produce the 99.99999% pure silicon required for the first stage of the manufacturing process. So questions, comments, you know what to do. I expect this video to be highly controversial, so rate it whatever you think it deserves. Thanks for watching.